everybody, we're at Denali National Park. The main feature of Denali National Park is Denali Mountain. Now, a lot of people may call it Mount McKinley still, but it has been renamed to Denali as a way to reclaim its original name and retain some of its heritage. The mountain itself is big enough that it has its own weather patterns, which means it's not always, quote, out. And that simply means that sometimes the mountain is visible and sometimes it's not. Now, you would think the highest peak in North America would make itself very well known every day, all day, but that is not the case because of the weather patterns that I just mentioned. Now, we are at this overlook or pull-off, and there's a nice plaque that tells you roughly which direction to look for the mountain. Unfortunately, it's not cooperating today. And that's terrible, isn't it, Tomlin? Well, we left the overlook and now we're going to the visitor center at Denali. This is all here for the Alaska Railroad. And the Alaska Railroad does stop at Denali National Park. Pick it up in Anchorage, it brings you straight here. These are photos that I took at the main visitor center of Denali National Park, but there's a problem. All right, y'all. Well, it's confession moment. I got back home and started working on the video, putting it together for you guys at Denali National Park, which is an amazing place to be. But I found out I have a little problem with my memory card. I don't know how well you can see this, but it's the one that's got Denali written on it. Is it focusing? Yeah. Okay. The problem is I can't get my pictures off of it. I don't know if it got hot or what has happened, because I did go through the desert coming home, but this memory card is not straight anymore, and I can't put it in any of my devices to get the information off. So I have just lost a ton of footage, pictures, my life history from Denali. But I do have some information I'm going to supplement with the website and give you a narrative there. And then we actually do have footage for part of Denali National Park and Denali State Park. So keep watching. Here's that video from the website, followed by the other video clips right after that. Thanks. Okay, now the first thing about Denali that you need to know is it costs $15 per person to get in. But if you have National Parks passes, they will take those. Now, this is above any kind of bus tours or anything that you might want to take. So it is $15 per person, and that's pretty much spelled out really well on the website. Okay, now parking at the visitor center is a large parking lot, so you won't have much of a problem there. Okay, now let's talk about getting around the park. There are free shuttles that will take you to the Riley Park campground as well as to the sled dog demonstration shuttle, and you can drive. There is a road that will take you to the Savage River area. However, your best chance of seeing wildlife is going to be to take a bus tour. Bus tours in Denali National Park do not necessarily come cheap. Now, I took the 8-hour tour a few years ago, and let me tell you, I was completely exhausted when we got finished. But we did see a wolf kill and a grizzly bear playing with her cubs and some other animals as well. This was the Tundra Wilderness Tour, and that takes you deep into the park. But operation dates, all the tours operate from generally mid-May to mid-September or the 1st of June to mid-September. It's $160.25 per person. And again, you do still have to pay the $15 entrance fee on top of that. They also have others, but the 8-hour tour is the only one I took, so that's what I can speak to. And so the full tour goes 62 miles into Denali National Park. It'll stop at Eelson Visitor Center where they have a bookstore. These tours don't provide food, so you're going to need to bring your own sandwich. Always, 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 if you're going to go to a national park, take time looking at the website because it's packed full of information that you're going to need. For example, this talks about planning your activities. Denali Visitor Center, that's where you pay your fees and get information. They also have some ranger programs, which usually lead from the visitor center. Now, when we start talking about food, your plan your visit section will have things like that. Okay, sleeping, it's campgrounds there. And for food, you've got the grill, which is right there at the visitor center. But if you really want sandwiches, then you're going to have to go to the Riley Creek campground, or just outside of the park on Highway 3 is Denali Park Village, and you've got just anything there that you would want, from fast food type stuff to your grocery store, mom and pop grocery stores, on up to full service kind of upscale restaurants and everything in between. I've eaten now at the Salmon Bake a few times, and I've had pretty good luck there, but there are tons of other places too. And scrolling down through here, you can see where there's some storage food lockers. And so if you're camping or backpacking, you definitely want to take advantage of those. Huge, obviously, grizzly bear is everywhere, so make sure you follow their guidelines, okay? And also, as far as lodging, there's campgrounds here, but if you go right outside to Denali Park Village, then you'll have hotels and so forth. All right, the must-do, or one of the many must-dos, I should say, at Denali National Park is to go to the kennels, because they have sled dogs. These dogs work. They clear trails, they cut trails, they clear out debris, and so you can really meet the sled dogs there, and you'll see a sled dog demonstration. It's free. You do have to take a shuttle from the visitor center, but that also is free. Let me show you the footage that I've got Savage River area, and also we're going to be looking at the northern overlook from the Denali State Park. Right next to Denali National Park is Denali State Park, and that, of course, is run by the state of Alaska. We're at the Denali North viewing area, where they have a large parking lot. There is also a campground and toilets, which are pit toilets, and a fish cleaning station, as well as the interpretive center. There are information here about the Denali Mountain itself. The 1910 sourdough expedition, which started as a bet among men on whether or not the mountain could be climbed, and information about the South Peak and North Peak, as well as the reclaiming of the name Denali from the name of Mount McKinley. It's got the viewing binoculars, which should help us see the mountain if it's out. I'm going to give it a whirl. So right behind me, you can see there is a gray mountain that's a little darker gray, and then right kind of above it, above the cloud, you see just a little peak of another mountain. That little peak sticking up would be Denali, the great one. Thank you all for watching my Bodacious channel. Don't forget to give me a like if you liked the video, and be sure to subscribe to get notifications on all the upcoming videos. You want to click that bell. Don't forget, you can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Gayle Vlogs, and always #BeBodacious. Don't let life get in the way of living. We'll see you next time.